We see it nearly every day. It's played a large role in our lives since our earliest memories. And despite this, most people rarely give it a second thought. What is it? Animation. Now, when you hear the word animation, what comes to mind? Perhaps a funny cartoon you'd see on a Saturday morning, or a brightly colored, fast-paced movie that'll keep a kid quiet for an hour and a half. But animation has a very fascinating history behind it, and the process of creating animation takes lots of time and a team of skilled artists. I can say from my own experience. Because I am on the autism spectrum, I have had difficulty reading facial expressions of people around me since I was young. But it's much easier for me to read expressions on an animated character. I've also made my own frame-by-frame animations since I was 11 or 12 years old, although I've technically been an animator since I was 9 thanks to my long-lost stop-motion animations. Animation is also something I want to pursue as a career, but enough about my history. What's animation's history? And more importantly, how has it impacted the entertainment industry? Our story begins long before animation was even a thing. In 1832, a Belgian physicist named Joseph Plateau invented the phenaketoscope, an optic toy that, when spun, made the pictures drawn on it look like they were moving. Even though it wouldn't be around until another 7 decades, animation works very similarly to the phenaketoscope, which brings us to the next segment of our video. First, the storyboards are sent to the animation studio. Storyboards are rough sketches that visualize a sequence or scene. They're even done for live-action movies. Then the keyframes, or main poses, are drawn. Then the animators draw the in-betweens, which are the drawings that connect the poses together. When all these drawings are shown one after another really fast, our eyes see it as one motion. Now that you have a basic understanding of how animation works, let's jump back into the history. Jump to 1908, and we have the very first animated cartoon, Phantasmagorie, created by a Frenchman named Émile Cohl. While it may seem primitive by today's standards, you have to remember this was the very first cartoon, and nobody knew how to animate yet. Throughout the 1920s and 30s, animated cartoons were played in theaters before feature films, including Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie, which made history as the first animated cartoon with synchronized sound. Disney continued to pave the way for animation in 1937 with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was the first theatrically released animated film. Not long after, the Second World War began. And animation served a new purpose: propaganda. During World War II, the U.S. Army commissioned studios such as Disney and Warner Brothers to make propaganda cartoons. These cartoons were made to encourage the public to help the Army by purchasing war bonds, paying income taxes, and making donations such as cooking oil and scrap metal.
Your pound of waste fat will give some boy at the front an extra clip of cartridges.
Because the purpose of these propaganda shorts was to demonize the people they were fighting, a lot of these cartoons featured racial stereotypes. Eventually, the Second World War ended, and now we have television. Now that most households had a television in them, companies had a brand new way to entertain and market to families. And so began the era of television cartoons. Hanna-Barbera made shows such as The Flintstones and Yogi Bear using limited animation, a type of animation that takes shortcuts to save time and money. Methods include, but are not limited to, walking cycles, reusing animation cells, and generally including less action. Over the next few decades, the world of television cartoons began to grow and develop, until in the 80s, we received a wave of cartoons aimed to market toys. But you may be wondering, why were there so many cartoons aimed to sell toys? Well, the main reason was that President Ronald Reagan's new FCC regulations were much more relaxed, resulting in toy companies seizing their opportunity to get kids to buy their products. Another influence is the success of Star Wars merchandise, which showed how well a movie or show tie-in works to sell toys. Meanwhile, technologies such as recursive ray tracing in the 1980s allowed 3D animation to advance like never before. This led to a huge boom of CGI in the 1990s. But how is 3D animation made? After the storyboards, which we went over a couple minutes ago, are made, the props, environment, and characters are built in a computer program in a process known as modeling, which is like sculpting, but on a computer. Next, character models are given skeletons called rigs so they can move and talk. After that, the keyframe positions are set and the characters begin to move. And so, in the 90s, the rise of computer animation began. There were stunning visual effects in movies such as Jurassic Park and Terminator 2: Judgment Day. There was the first fully computer-animated series VeggieTales, and the first fully computer-animated feature film, Toy Story. With a rising popularity in 3D animated movies, 2D animated movies were quickly seen as a thing of the past. Because of this, most animated movies that have released in theaters since then have used 3D animation. For a long time, and even today, animation has been seen mainly as children's entertainment, despite there being many popular movies and shows aimed at adults and general audiences that use animation. However, this mindset has died down in recent years. And since the release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, animation studios continue to innovate with stylized animation in the present. Additionally, with the public becoming less trusting of large corporations, there has been a rise in popularity of shows from independent studios. Although I think it's a bit weird to call Glitch and Spindlehorse indie, considering how massive they've gotten.
Buy our toys.
It is almost guaranteed that artificial intelligence will play a large role in the near future of animation. While AI tools have been used for years to speed up the more tedious aspects of animation, such as the physics of hair, cloth, and liquids, ethical concerns surround the use of generative AI to create the whole animation due to the elimination of jobs and the environmental impact of AI machinery.
Horrifying, uncanny imagery generated by artificial intelligence powered by stolen images and artwork.
And they expect us to just let them get away with this?
Not to mention it's also very, very lazy. Here's what some people who work in industry have to say on the subject. Cindy Marat says, "I don't think AI has any place in animation. Animation is supposed to be the illusion of life. AI is so lifeless, weightless, and soulless, it really just sucks the life out of anything it creates and doesn't look right." Pamela Prostar says, "I'm really not a fan of AI at all. Great for taking notes in meetings and correcting spelling, etc., but I really do not like the use of AI for art. Art is for humans, and best kept that way." Melanie Plett says, "I think all in all, it will be a useful tool. I don't feel it will replace animators, though we will have to learn to adjust to work with it. I don't see a computer, for now, being able to take notes from clients and adjust it animation." So, from what we've discussed, the conclusion I have come to is that animation reflects the cultural and financial environment in which it was created, as we see during World War II, the post-war television era, and even the present day. Even when faced with change, it continues to evolve and grow. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to contribute to the future of animation after I finish art school. And thank you for sticking around until the end. Goodbye!